Now we are continuing to study the French opening with d takes e4, and now I would like to take the game Karakin-Rычагов and use it as a platform for showing you some main theoretical lines in the system with c3, which we are looking at, knight f6, c3. And you see Karakin playing with white pieces might not maybe belonging to top 10 at the moment, and is also maybe not the name you hear every day with connection to super tournaments, but the boy is still very young. He's about 17 now, and already has enormous chess ability, and mark my words, in some 20 years or so he will belong to the golden hall of history of chess. I am absolutely convinced that his chess talent is extraordinary, and we should look at his games with a lot of attention. So after c5, Karakin went bishop e3, probably just a transposition, as we will see with the normal knight e5, queen c7, knight e5, a6. And we already saw the position after queen a4, knight d7 in the game Adams Anand, and we also noted that bishop d7, knight d7 gives white comfortable position with two bishops, and this we will also see in the game Svidler-Weiss later on. So after queen a4 check, knight d7, Karakin castles, c takes d4, and plays knight takes d7. Now, after queen d7, queen c2, we saw that Anand failed to solve opening problems against Adams and got a very unpleasant position. Since then, people started to play bishop d7 and queen takes d4. Now this is a pretty central position for the entire variation, and if we want to take a look at its main features, we should note that white is slightly better developed. He has already castled, his queen is centralized, and his development is not impeded. That is, he can proceed bishop c4, rook e1, and so on. On the other hand, black's position is very central and very solid. The pawns on e6 and f7 are difficult to break through, and the natural plan of attack with f4, f5 is very time consuming and might not really work. Black also gets other chances. So in this position he has been mainly playing bishop c6, like in the game Karakin-Rычагов, or e5. And e5 is an interesting move, although it looks as if black weakens his positions in the center. That is weakening the diagonal c4, f7, maybe making himself more vulnerable on the e-file. He still tries to use the fact that white's queen maybe doesn't have such a good square, and in fact white players usually in this position opted for the ending either with queen b6 or with queen c4. It seems that the ending after queen c4, queen takes c4, bishop c4 offers white indeed better chances. He is threatening bishop f7, and after something like bishop c6, bishop d5, rook d5, f6, rook hd1, his lead in development is very quickly obtaining dangerous proportions. However, this is not obligatory for black. After queen c4, black can play rook c8 and try to hold this ending, which is still a bit better for white, but nothing maybe so serious. So e5 is a sort of a solid continuation where black tries to survive with with the slightly worse ending. And bishop c6 is the other move. Black tries to avoid any concessions and basically equalize the game with rook d8, followed by rook takes d1. But now, looking at this position, we should see that white's play should be directed against black's main weakness, that is the pawn on e6, and thus the move bishop c4 becomes understandable. So white is threatening in lines to play queen g4, and bishop takes e6, is also playing with ideas like rook e1, bishop f4, and on the whole his development lead is very serious, but still surprisingly inefficient if we look at some of the following moves, in the way that it is not easy to break through against black's careful play. Chess is a very, very solid game, and in fact some serious mistakes always have to be made before one's position collapses. So in this game black proceeded with rook d8, queen g4, everything logical. We noted that something like bishop g2 is an extremely dangerous waste of time. Now white can either proceed rook e1 with ideas of bishop e6, or proceed rook g1 with ideas like of rook g7. Either way, it will be very difficult for black to continue. So rook d8 is the most solid continuation. Now queen g4. And now we see that white, by using fairly simple means, created pressure on e6, and to fight against this pressure, it seems that black has to go something like h5. And the queen is driven away from g4, and it is not easy to find a very good square for it, because, for instance, after rook takes d8, queen d8, queen g3, black is continuing to annoy the white queen with queen d6, and basically it is not clear if white's lead in development will result in any concrete results. So please pay attention to this position. At the moment, I do not have any solutions ready, because after some analysis, I failed to find any continuation which would be immediately killing. But my intuition is telling me that white's position is very, very promising, and I would be very happy if you would analyze this position at home, and then I'm pretty sure you would find continuations which you like. In this game, in the game Karyakin-Rychegov, Rychegov was probably afraid of additional weaknesses created by h5, and decided to protect the pawn on e6 in the most direct way. Unfortunately, his position is just not solid enough to allow any waste of time, and after he played bishop d7, protecting the pawn on e6, his position is just too passive and too undeveloped to put up any serious resistance against white's coordinated forces. In fact, now white's only slight problem is the hanging position of the bishop on c4, and after he just plays bishop b3, it seems that black's task is not so enviable anymore. White is going bishop g5, playing rook e1, if necessary doubling on the d file, and black is very, very far from finishing his development. So you see that even one small mistake in this line can prove almost decisive, and black tried to generate some counterplay. He went queen a5, but in fact this is the typical too late, too little kind of counterplay. White goes bishop g5, rook c8, rook e1, and now basically black is completely defenseless against the ideas created by white's superior piece coordination. Black goes still h5, but this is clear desperation now after bishop e6. basically black is getting mated in all lines. Bishop d7 mate is threatened. He still tries some counterplay, but as we said, this was too little. Bishop a3, bishop d7, king f8, and now theoretically black even has some threats, but with just some slight precision, white plays queen g3, and now we see that after rook takes c3, white will just go king b1, and rook e8 mate is too serious a threat. So black made another move, h4, queen e5, and decided to resign. Now you see how efficient can be a good dynamic play in combination with exact opening knowledge. In this game, a very strong grandmaster with black went down in 22 moves. A good achievement by a grandmaster, I reckon.